Hola.
Right.
Introduction.
Hey, my name is Rob Kall. I'm the CEO of CN. It's a company that uses artificial intelligence to make sales teams more productive. The best definition of artificial intelligence that I've heard is the one that says artificial intelligence is all the things you didn't think your computer could do, but they are now doing. And today you're finding it everywhere. For example, a tool like Google Maps uses artificial intelligence in all aspects. It finds the best route for you, it avoids traffic. But today you have already used it so many times that you don't probably think about it as a AI or robot or anything. It just works. And that's what you'll see more and more for new tools that are coming on the market. Some of them are going to be for consumers and some of them are going to be for businesses. This is one of the most exciting things. Small businesses, large businesses can all benefit from using artificial intelligence. And the way we're using it there is what we call augmented intelligence. In other words, tools that help you make better decisions. In the past 10 years, companies have adopted a lot of what we call software as a service platforms to help them automate workflows. But going forward, we think that they're also going to start adopting AI first type of products that helps them make better decisions. So that might be something like whether they should buy more of this particular product or more of that particular product, whether they should hire more of these types of people or those types of people, or whether they should invest more in this type of marketing channel or that type of marketing channel. So the market in Spain is the same as the rest of industrialized world. They are following the global tech giants in United States, Facebook, Google, Apple. Those are the companies that are rolling out massive AI solutions right now. And you will see more and more niche-specific applications for businesses, for specific individuals, and those will be adopted here in Spain in the same way as the rest of Europe. Well, I think that AI is the next technology wave. If you remember the prior technology waves, you had the PC revolution in the 80s, the internet revolution in the 90s, the software as a service and social media revolution around 10 years ago, and today you have the AI revolution. And all those prior ones changed fundamentally how we're doing. And I think that AI is an even bigger change because it will change how people are not just automating stuff, but also how they're making decisions. And that's what you're going to see impacting our lives over the next 10 to 15 years. And it's going to affect all aspects of society. The combination of collecting a lot more data in different sources, ability to process that data, and then making predictions around that data of what's going to happen or recommendations, what you should do, will be used in many, many aspects of it. And some people are concerned about that. Of course, most people have heard about GDPR, for example, which is a privacy legislation that has been enacted here in Europe. But you will also see a lot of companies and individuals want to take advantage of the benefits of AI to be able to do things more efficiently and with lower cost and faster. So when it comes to marketing, there are tons of different applications that AI can help you with. One that I'm very interested in is what we call lead scoring. And that allows you to understand whether a particular prospect that is coming to you or that you have found through some type of list that you're working with is a suitable candidate. And there's a lot of different dimensions of that. One of them we call fit, which is where is the prospect located, if it's a business, what type of industry is that prospect in, what's the title of the person that you have on the other end, and a few other things like that, the size of the business, for example. Sometimes those things make up a really great customers, and in other cases there's a customer that you could never sell the service to. So to be able to predict that and measure that is one aspect. Another aspect is how interested a customer is. So for example, if someone comes to you because they heard about their product from a friend, we would call that a referral, and a referral tends to be very interested. They are already sold on your product because they had an endorsement from someone else. Of course, if you're calling that person for the first time from a list that you acquired, that person probably never heard about your product or service, and their interest level is very low. But then the interest level can change. So for example, if you have an effective value proposition, you can see that interest level go up. And with tools like AI and measuring interactions between seller and a buyer, you can see how that happens in real time. So content marketing, people have said for a long time content is king. but it's not really content is king, it's great content is king. And how do you determine whether something is great content versus just content? I think that the holy grail there is what we call engagement. If someone is really interested in the story that you're trying to tell through your content marketing, and you can tell that today through a lot of different measurements, you can then use and stitch together to make a pattern to see, okay, these types of stories are what people are interested in. And the way you're measuring that, you can use Google Analytics, you can use different types of click streams, you can use ways to determine whether people are sharing that content in different ways. And then you see patterns. In some places, people are not engaged that much, and in some cases, so it's not just raw counts anymore that you got 10,000 page views, because that could have come from a bot or something like that, but where people are really engaging with your content and they like it. And once you have understood that, now you can create a pathway towards improving that content marketing for your next articles, etc. Well, remember, in a long time ago, people said, I don't know which portion of advertising works, but, and probably only half of it works, but if I don't do that, I don't have anything. Later on, we started measuring things like, page views, CPMs, etc., right? That allowed us to get a greater level of measurement. But today we know that all page views, all CPMs, all click-throughs, etc., are not created equal. And that's what AI can do. It can start scoring those things based on things like engagement level, based on things like how much of a virality each kind of engagement created and so forth. Like it did one interaction lead to another interaction and so forth. The tools that are there today to detect these patterns and analyze a lot of data did not exist 10 years ago, but today they do, and that allows you to make much better decisions using these tools. So as I mentioned, I am in an AI-first startup right now, and we created that startup to understand exactly what happens during a sales process. What happens, we call this our 360-degree view. So we want to see what happens on the seller side, we want to see what happens on the buyer side, and we want to see what happens on the macro side. Macro would be things like seasonality, competition, things that you can't control. On the seller side, you have your sales reps. How do they behave? Do they have good work ethic? Do they have good product knowledge? Do they know how to close the customers well? So those are things that you can measure using different types of AI techniques. On the buyer side, you have things like fit and interest we talked about earlier. Is this a good fit? Is this a customer that is in the right industry? Is this a customer in the right location? Does a customer expressed high interest? Did they come from a referral source? Did they seek you out via Google? Or are you cold calling them for the first time? Doesn't mean that you can't sell to someone that you cold calling for the first time, but you should expect the effort to sell him or her to be much higher than someone that just came in through the door ready to be buying because they heard about it from a friend. So all of those types of things that we are measuring, and then we're trying to create recommendation systems so that you can always take the best action based on your current situation right now. And that's never the same for each company. Every company has their own unique challenges, and you have to adapt to your specific thing. And in the past, you needed a consultant or some very, very, deliberate analysis. Today, you can get this stuff from an app like our CRM app. When it comes to the next 10 years, I think that you're going to see a massive change in how technology services are delivered. As opposed to being just focused on automation, what we call like SaaS, software as a service, where you just automated a bunch of data flows, you're going to start seeing a lot more AI first type of products out there. AI first are companies that are trying to help you make better decisions. That will be in all aspects of your life. It could be in personal, like making a better decision about which way to go to the grocery store using Google Maps, or it can be as a sales leader trying to figure out which of the following strategies you should employ for improving your sales team. You will see that across the board, and if you are able to provide that type of guidance within your products, I think that will increase the value of them tremendously.